On New Year's Eve 1972, a creaky DC-7 cargo plane taxied on the runway at San Juan, Puerto Rico's Isla Verde International Airport. That particular aircraft had a history of mechanical problems. That day, the airplane was overloaded by 4,200 pounds and lacked sufficient personnel as it was missing both a flight engineer and a co-pilot. The DC-7 was laden with relief supplies for Managua, Nicaragua, which had suffered a devastating earthquake 8 days before. The supplies never made it to Managua. The plane crashed into the Atlantic Ocean immediately after takeoff due to engine failure as a result of inadequate maintenance. All 5 people on board perished. Major League Baseball has been around for over 150 years. Approximately 19,000 men have played Major League Baseball. Only 32 of them have amassed 3,000 hits during their careers. On September 30th, 1972, Pittsburgh Pirate right fielder Roberto Enrique Clemente Walker, known simply as Roberto Clemente, became the 11th major leaguer to join that club. Clemente's 3,000th hit was a double off John Madlack of the New York Mets and came at home at Three Rivers Stadium.
Madlack on the 0-1. Bowdy hits a dive into the gap in left center field. There she is.
1972 was Clemente's 18th year in the major leagues, all with the Pittsburgh Pirates. To that point in his career, he had been an All-Star 15 times. He had won 12 Gold Gloves and 4 batting titles. He had been named the National League's Most Valuable Player in 1966. He had won 2 World Series titles and was named the World Series Most Valuable Player in 1971. And now, he also had 3,000 hits. Clemente's excellence was not limited to the baseball diamond. In the 1958 offseason, he enlisted in the United States Marine Corps and served during off-seasons through 1964. And when he wasn't serving in the Marines, he was involved in charity work. Roberto Clemente's charity work put him on that ill-fated DC-7 that took off from Isla Verde just 3 months after he got his 3,000th hit, in what tragically turned out to be his last at-bat. He was one of the 5 lost that day, but there's a bit more to the story. In October of 1972, after the baseball season was over in the United States, Clemente traveled to Managua to coach the Puerto Rican national baseball team in the Baseball World Cup. He became enamored with the people of Nicaragua. So in December, when he was back in his native Puerto Rico, he was distraught when he heard of the disastrous earthquake in Managua that had decimated the city and killed over 5,000 people. Clemente organized 3 relief flights to Managua in the days following the earthquake. But he heard reports that the military, under the corrupt Anastasio Somoza, had diverted the relief supplies for profiteering purposes. So Clemente decided to accompany the 4th flight to personally make sure that the supplies got to the people that needed them. Alas, he never got the chance. In March of 1973, the Baseball Writers Association of America held a special election for the Hall of Fame. In an unprecedented move, they voted to waive the 5-year waiting period required for a player to be considered for the Hall and voted Clemente in immediately. To this day, Roberto Clemente remains the only player for whom the waiting period has been waived. The commissioner of Major League Baseball at the time, Bowie Kuhn, said of Clemente, he gave the term complete a new meaning. He made the word superstar seem inadequate. He had about him the touch of royalty. Kuhn also honored Clemente by renaming the Commissioner's Award given annually to the Major League Baseball player who best exemplifies the game of baseball, sportsmanship, community involvement, and the individual's contribution to his team. In 1973, the Commissioner's Award became the Roberto Clemente Award. Although many media organizations, and famously the Topps Baseball Card Company, often referred to him as Bobby or Bob, Clemente, fiercely proud of his Latin heritage, adamantly rejected those names and repeatedly insisted he be called Roberto, not Bob, not Bobby. That fact wasn't lost on Mac, played by Kevin Kline in 1991's Grand Canyon, when it came time to name his son. Here he is with Danny Glover.
You ever been to the Grand Canyon?
I always meant to go.
I was there. Only takes about 9 hours from here.
I know we were planning to take my boy.
How old is he?
15.
15. Probably won't want to go with you now. Probably go with his friends, his chick now. You missed that boat. What's his name?
Roberto.
Roberto.
After Roberto Clemente.
Oh, shit.
Clemente, who was both black and Latino, is considered Pittsburgh's greatest baseball legend and is honored throughout the city. If you attend a Major League Baseball game in Pittsburgh, you cross the Roberto Clemente Bridge, which leads directly into PNC Park, where there's a statue of him. The right field wall at PNC Park is 21 feet high in honor of Clemente's fielding position and uniform number. As Diane Gliozzi of Popular Pittsburgh magazine wrote, Roberto Clemente is another reason why Pittsburghers are so proud of their great city. Sports is, of course, a form of tribalism, but it's a positive force because the artificial cohorts that sports creates furtively but effectively tear down the destructive forms of tribalism based on things like race, religion, and ethnicity. If you're looking for examples of sports' good tribalism defeating bad tribalism, Pittsburgh's magnificent relationship with Roberto Clemente, both during his lifetime and since he's been gone, is a great place to start. I'm Jack Azut. Thank you for watching.